What up, y'all? Day 10 of the Jonathan Majors case. Ayo, I'm burnt out, so I'm not hitting the camera, and this may actually be a short video. Let's get into it. On day 10, they had a total of 4 people testify. 2 police officers, Grace's manager, and a trauma therapist. First up, Officer Lucerio. I'm going to call him Officer Luke. Now, he no longer works for the NYPD. He works at a different police station, so he probably ain't even really want to be there today. All right, Luke said when he got to the scene, Grace was confused, dazed. He said he did notice her finger was bruised. He said Grace said, "How did I get here?" Luke said he was trying to explain to her what happened, but then she kind of whispered, "Is he here? Is he out there?" Speaking about Jonathan Majors. So, do y'all think she was scared of Jonathan Majors, or was she trying to weaponize the police? Back to Luke. Luke said she told him she had pain in her finger, her ear, and the back of her head. He rode with Grace to the hospital and also helped her fill out the domestic violence incident report. He wrote page 1, she wrote page 2. Now, when Jonathan Majors' lawyers cross-examined him, he ain't remember nothing. Jonathan Majors' lawyers asked, "Do you remember what Grace was wearing?" He said, "No." "Was she wearing anything below her waist?" He said, "I don't recall." "Did she tell you she took 2 blue sleeping pills?" "I don't recall." "Did Grace ask you why her ear was hurting? Is that correct?" He said, "Correct." "Based on your experience, do you think it's possible she had fallen?" He said, "I don't remember asking her if she fell." His lawyer said, "Did you notice Jonathan Majors' coat? Was there anything particular about it?" He said, "I believe there was a button or 2 missing." He also said he didn't remember seeing any blood or vomit in the apartment at all. So, guess what? Get him off the stand. He was ready to go. He didn't want to be there. Next up, we got Officer 2, the arresting officer, Sergeant Brian. He was the one who accused Jonathan Major of the choking incident that never happened. All right, so his testimony starts off like this. He said, "The initial call we got is a woman had overdosed and tried to unalive herself." Now, this is the first time we've heard of her trying to unalive herself in court. We heard this rumor months back when all this stuff broke out. Jonathan Majors' lawyer said the reason he rushed home was because she texted him and said she was about to unalive herself. So that's the reason he came home and called 911. Officer Brian testified that Jonathan did show him his phone and he seen all the messages, but he said when he got there, he didn't see any evidence of anyone trying to unalive themselves. So do y'all think she texted him that just to get him to rush home? That's what I think. That's my speculation. All right, back to Officer Brian. He said he did see a small amount of blood on a blanket. Grace told him that Jonathan Majors hit her several times in the head and he also grabbed her by the throat. Now, this is new. This is the first time we've heard someone say that she said Majors put his hands around her throat. Now we get to the cross-examination. He's being questioned by Seth Zuckerman. Seth says, "Did you take a picture of the blanket with the blood on it?" He said, "No." "Did you keep the blanket with the blood on it?" He said, "No." Brian also said he didn't see any more blood or vomit in the apartment. I think it's becoming more and more evident that she either cut her ear at home or she cut her ear in the club, because there was a small amount of blood found in the apartment, but there was no blood found in the car, and there was no blood transferred from her ear to her friend's shirt when they were hugging several times throughout the night. Next up is Grace's talent manager. His name is Ben. He said he started receiving a lot of phone calls from Grace's friend Holly. He manages Holly as well. He said he went to the hospital to see Grace, and she was visibly emotional, upset, devastated. When he got there, he said she showed him the little area behind her ear and also her bruised finger. He was asked, "Did you go to a psychiatrist with Grace?" Ben said, "I did. We were there for maybe 2 or 3 hours. The lawyer said, "What was her demeanor while waiting in the lobby?" He said it fluctuated from being exhausted, concerned, frustrated, shaken up, tired. "We were trying to figure out the best time to pack her stuff up to leave." Hey, Ben was done. He didn't really have much to bring either, so they got him off the stand quick. Next up was the final witness, the trauma specialist, and her name is Josie. She pretty much was only allowed to speak in a general sense about domestic violence. The judge did not allow her to talk about this current case, so she was only there to offer her opinion and experience, really. When she was being cross-examined by Seth, he got her to admit there's no way to look at someone and tell if they've experienced trauma. She also agreed that not every argument you have in a relationship is intimate partner violence. Then they asked her, can someone experience trauma if someone put false accusations on them? Good question, Seth. Hey, I like Seth, y'all. He's been doing the thing. Now, I couldn't find the answer to the question. I don't know what she answered. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow because she's still on the stand. Now, the prosecution should rest their case tomorrow. Then Jonathan Majors' lawyers will take over. I don't know how many witnesses they're going to call. I know they plan to call the maintenance guy who helped Jonathan Majors unlock the closet door. I previously heard that they may call the DJ from the club, but those are the only two witnesses that I'm hearing that they may call. I know for sure Jonathan Majors shouldn't take the stand. He has no reason to at this point. She's admitted to being the aggressor. The driver says she was the aggressor, and he can't really add anything to the case at this point. So, how do y'all feel about the Jonathan Majors case so far? And do y'all think she was weaponizing the police? Leave your comments below. Thanks for hanging out with me. Peace.